Here we go, just past halftime on the Matt Murphy Radio Show. Man, oh man, did you guys look outside moments ago? Did you see this outside, Ken Weaver? Wait, no, Ken. Oh, that's a sore subject. I apologize, Ken Weaver.
Yeah, I don't have a window. All I've got is just a wall around me.
You got a window, Ken.
Halfway through that question, I just realized that poor Ken Weaver, he's got a window into the control area, which then has a window outside. But Ken Weaver does not have it's why we say that Ken Weaver's in News Closet B, because he does not have a window to the out of door. Hey, Ken.
Yes, sir.
It's raining.
Is it?
Yeah, there's a pop-up rain shower came about.
That might be why my traffic map looks so angry.
Maybe so. Maybe so. A lot of traffic going on in downtown Nashville. Y'all be careful out there. It'll be there when you get there. Be safe and be warned. Might be some raindrops on the windshields. Okay, Matt Murphy with you. Cameron Smith in his normal place, in position on these Wednesdays. We appreciate Cameron being here. Hello, Cameron. Howdy. Hello, Cameron.
Howdy.
There you go. And there on the Murphy Show hotline is Senator Marsha Blackburn, who made the big announcement earlier today that she has thrown her proverbial hat in the ring to become the next governor of the state of Alabama. And we are pleased to welcome Senator Blackburn on the Matt Murphy Show this afternoon on Super Talk. Senator Blackburn, good afternoon. Congratulations.
Well, thank you so much, and I'm delighted to join you. It has been a big day.
I'm sure it has. We've got many, many questions, and I know that we'll have plenty of opportunities. I look at this as the beginning of this conversation about your role potentially as governor, not, the end of anything. So just the beginning. So I don't expect that we'll get all of our questions out today in the time that we have, but hopefully we'll get a few of them. And the biggest question on my lips, why did you decide now? I mean, just after running for re-election for United States Senate, you've obviously been thinking about this for a certain amount of time. Talk to us about your thought process and why you've made the decision to run as governor.
Yes, indeed. And as you know, I have worked so closely with President Trump. There's no one that has worked more closely with him than me to pass his agenda. And he is sending power, authority, control back to the states when it comes to education and energy and health care. And there's going to be an opportunity to innovate and to work on regulations and how benefits are administered. And because of that, that is going to be a great opportunity to reset how our state government works. Now, Matt, the last time we did a reset in Tennessee was after I led that fight to defeat that proposed state income tax. And we did that, and then we reset everything in our state. We reduced spending, we skinnied up the bureaucracy, and we became an economic powerhouse. And we should continue that. And just as we did that reset in the early 2000s, with President Trump doing his great job, sending all of this back to the states, it is going to be an opportunity to grab that and then innovate. Think of what great innovation we do when it comes to energy and to healthcare, when it comes to how you educate children. The U.S. Department of Education is going to go away, and that will be coming back, and I am so excited about leading our state through this transition and achieving what we have wanted for so long, is to get power out of Washington, D.C., and back to your local and state governments. And I fully believe that Tennessee can be America's conservative leader.
Senator Marsha Blackburn, senator from the great state of Tennessee. Unlike, I botched the intro, Senator, and somehow Alabama was on my mind. I tried to demote you to governor of Alabama as opposed to governor of Tennessee. I apologize, and thank you for not pointing that out. But so I duly noted to everyone that has noted that I screwed that up, and I apologize.
Well,
I don't know where.
Shame on you.
Shame on me, and I apologize. What is the?
That's going to be Tommy Tuberville. You can go do it.
That's what everybody tells me. That's what everybody tells me. He's running, and you're running in the great state of Tennessee. What are you proudest of as a U.S. Senator that you've gotten accomplished, and what, if anything, do you look back on and wish you had done differently?
You know, when you talk about things that we have done, there's no one that's done more for the people of Tennessee than we have. And solving problems for the people, our caseworkers who work it out every single day when it comes to cases and issues that people are having. You look at the work I did on the big, beautiful bill, and we were able to remove that income tax burden from our nation's seniors by giving them a $6,000 bonus deduction every single year. Every senior gets that. When you look at the work that I have done, I've been a leader in protecting our children and putting regulations and things in place that are going to help protect our children. The REPORT Act that I was able to do, leading this fight, finding those illegal alien, those children that have come into this country and have been lost. And all of those are things that you achieve and you do on behalf of the people of Tennessee. They're things that they have wanted to see done.
Senator, as I previewed your appearance today after you made the announcement that you're running for governor of Tennessee, that I asked the listening audience to throw questions out at me about your history. I mean, you're well known to most of the voters in this state as a United States Senator, as a House of Representatives member, as a member of the General Assembly. And more than anything, people asked me to ask you to reflect on January 6th. People that have concerns for whatever reason, and I don't know why, have concerns about the vote to certify the election and the aftermath of that. And I understand that it's 5 years ago, but enough people have asked me to ask you. I feel compelled to do so on their part. Speak to that if you don't mind.
Sure. You know, and January 6th was that ceremonial vote. And basically, that process was over. At that point, we went in, we signed papers to object, and then you had the issues of the day. I think we all trust President Trump and how he moved forward with the pardons from individuals that were involved in that day. That's his right. That was a decision he made. That is something that you support.
We have Cameron Smith with us, who writes for the Tennessean. I think you're familiar with Cameron and his work, and he's got a question for you, Senator.
Sure. Senator, you've done a great job for advocating for constituencies that are important to Tennessee, like the music industry, for example. One of the least conservative things that I've seen as a foster parent is the state is the parent to thousands of kids in the state of Tennessee, and they don't really have a great advocate because there's, let's be honest, not money to be made in that space. As the chief executive of the state, what changes would you like to see at DCS? How do we get more of our communities involved, taking care of these kids so that it's Tennesseans raising them and not the state of Tennessee?
You know, that is something that I've had the opportunity to do a little bit of work on. And John Ossoff out of Georgia and I had worked on some things dealing with these DCS departments. Now, one thing I found out by working with our commissioner on DCS is that you've got about 15 counties in the state that have the vast majority of children that are in DCS care or in the foster program. And Cameron, I think one of the things we should do is let's pick a county and let's start a pilot project to see how we do things differently.
Amen.
To put this child, let's think about this child. And then I've talked with some of the state legislators about this. And where should we make a change on this? I don't know all the answers to this, but what I do know is that we have defined the problem. We know where the 15 counties are. We should pick one of these and say, let's do some things differently that will allow this child to have more direct care or participation from the community that will give this child some stability and
Amen.
some certainty that they are needing. And I've talked to some foster parents about this also. And a couple of people that are really close to me have fostered and adopted children. And, you know, Cameron, one of the things they talk about is bringing that child into that family and then helping that child heal and go through that process of healing and believing in themselves and realizing how important that safe, secure family environment can be to them. And it makes a difference in that child's life. And then the child comes to realize that. And that should be what we hope to achieve rather than keeping the attention on the bureaucracy of a department.
As you look across the state, I think we're doing pretty well, certainly comparatively speaking to other states around the United States of America, Senator Blackburn. But as you look around the state of Tennessee, what needs fixing? In other words, what do you look at and say, as governor, I'm going to champion this issue?
Yeah, well, let me say this to Cameron. I will work with him on this issue with DCS because this is a problem that is defined. When you talk about things more fully, you know, issues that need to do. Let's talk about how we keep our taxes low, how we keep our spending low, how we get the burden off of the taxpayer as much as we can, and then also looking at where there are ways to reduce waste, fraud, and abuse. Bureaucracies grow. Everybody knows that. And using a process where you're going in and cutting back on that bureaucracy on a regular basis is a way to keep the growth down. Also, we hear a lot from people across the state about jobs, and there are great jobs coming into this state, and they want to see workforce development and workforce training, jobs retraining opportunities, and having those so that our kids don't move away to a job, so that our kids and their friends are coming here for a job. And having those world-class jobs and a world-class workforce means that our children have to have a world-class education. And I did a lot of work on the school choice provisions that came forward this year, working with the legislators and the governor and really making certain that that was put in place, and now we've got to make certain that it is implemented and that kids and parents are going to have the opportunity to decide how those children are going to be educated and what opportunities are going to be there for them.
A few additional moments, just a couple of additional minutes with Senator Marsha Blackburn, who announced earlier today that she's running for governor of the state of Tennessee. Cameron?
Yeah, real quickly, how would you respond to, you know, you mentioned jobs, the small businesses, medium-sized businesses in Tennessee that say, hey, you know, I didn't really anticipate these tariffs adding to my, you know, unit cost and what I do, but it's really hurting my small business. Hey, can you help me out with understanding this, advocate to the White House about this? How are you going to handle that when your role is really reversed? You're the executive of the state versus a legislator up there, you know, cheering on the Trump administration when it comes to things like jobs and, you know, where tariffs may negatively impact.
And we have worked and continue to work with dozens of businesses, whether they're small, medium, or large, on issues of tariffs and the impact that that is having. And we are working with, you know, there are people in the state that are working on this, and we're working on it. And Cameron, the thing is being able to advocate for those businesses. I was advocating for one earlier today, and they have a business, their HTS codes, there's a certain product that they have to import, and there is a designation called an HTS code. We have gathered those codes, and we've submitted those to USTR, and we're working it through the process to make certain that they are not going to face a tariff on those items, because there is one place that they can get that one specific item. And while we all want to see more jobs coming back into the U.S., we do not want to penalize people who are manufacturing or who are in agriculture or who are producers or maybe providing some service, and they are having to get that one specific item from a specific country, and we don't want that price to be hiked up on them.
Senator, I know you got to run. Your time's limited. Busy day for you. One final question from me as you launch your gubernatorial campaign. You're no stranger to these races, whether they're General Assembly races, House of Representatives, United States Senate. What differentiates you? You know that, obviously there are other names in the race already, Congressman Rose and others. What sets you apart, and what is your singular message to the people across the state of Tennessee as you begin this journey?
I have the most complete conservative record to lead this state. I have been delivering for the people of Tennessee for a long time. When I was in the state Senate, making certain we didn't have a state income tax, making certain we didn't give driver's licenses to illegal aliens, and we continue to lead and deliver for the people of this state. And working hard from every corner of the state. My goodness, Senator Brent Taylor down in Memphis, I've been working with him. We've got FBI resources surged down there. You look at the work we're doing in Middle Tennessee. I've been working with Cameron Sexton, who just talked to him, who's the Speaker of the House. You look at the great work that we are doing over in Oak Ridge, the work we're doing with the National Guard. I was working this morning on healthcare issues in Upper East Tennessee. And having that knowledge, having that ability to work at the local, state, and federal level, visiting every county in this state for the last 6 years, this is going to be a great run. We are going to win this race. We are going to be a hard-working governor, and we're going to make certain Tennessee is this country's conservative leader.
Senator, how can folks find out more about the gubernatorial race? Where can they go?
MarshaBlackburn.com.
Thank you. We look forward to many conversations down the road. Please come in. Next time you're in Nashville, come by the studio and we'll spend a little time together, okay?
You got it. Take care. Bye.
All right, take care. There's Marsha Blackburn. 25 after the hour, we'll talk about some of her responses, some, frankly, better than others, with regard to some of the questions asked as we begin the conversation, as she asks for your vote for governor of the state of Tennessee.
That is correct.
Yes. I tried to demote her to the state down south. I don't know why I did that, but that came out of my brain, and I apologize. It's 25 after the hour on Super Talk. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Before we get to nincompoops in the news, never you fear, we shall get to nincompoops in the news. I do want your reaction to our conversation with Senator and gubernatorial candidate Marsha Blackburn. Once again, I'm going to say it one more time for those in the back. I botched it. I totally botched my intro. I don't know why I said Alabama, but I did. I've been in Tennessee since 2021. I think maybe it's looking at you. I'm going to blame you, Cameron.
I just screamed Alabama.
You have nothing. Yeah, I was. In my
born here.
No, you're a fan. Your fandom. I was thinking about football.
Aren't we all?
I was thinking about your ugly truck and what it has on the front of it.
I was thinking about your pretty crimson truck.
Hey, did you see my new? That's candy apple red. Thank you very much. Candy apple red. Yours is like white.
White.
Did you know that Alabama tried to trademark the colors crimson and white?
It
Did
would
you know
not
that
shock
they did
me
that?
at all
Yeah.
if that would
They
happen.
also tried to. They sued Daniel Moore to trademark the word Alabama because of his paintings.
That's great.
Don't get me started. Don't make me mad. Let me blame you on my.
I hate it.
Allow me to
The
blame you on
worst.
my failures. Thank you. Yes, Alabama's the worst. Go Tommy Tuberville. Anyway, your thoughts on the interview?
So she's clearly the front runner. The politispeak is a challenge. And what I mean by that is she has been engaging in political conversations like the one we just had for so long that it just flows, right? Like for most people, they don't get asked these questions, and she's almost automatic. And there's a lot of the people hear a lot of the political speak. And I think that's going to be a challenge if folks say she's just giving me the next talking point. I think that she is right about her track record. Her track record is solid. I wasn't kidding when I said, hey, the music industry has really appreciated the work that she's done on a wide range of issues. But being authentic is the currency of politics right now. That's why people like Donald Trump, is because he's really who he is. And I think when you're talking about a gubernatorial race, you're a lot more front and center. You have to be, shaking babies and shaking hands and kissing babies.
Shaking babies and kissing hands.
Right. Not that.
Sure.
But, you got to do more of that. That's the thing. And so I think that's going to be her only challenge.
Jackson, I know that you come from a different world. You come from the world of sports. It is the reason that I ask you this question. And I don't want you to filter yourself in any way. If you didn't listen, you can say that, and we'll deal with that toward the end. But what is your reaction to that conversation? I mean, unfiltered, just Jackson Williams, what is your reaction to that conversation?
It was interesting. It was a lot of political speak, though. It was a lot of politician speak. And from what I heard,
you feel like it was like rehearsed answers, or
not as much rehearsed, but I've done a few of these before. I know how to answer this particular question.
Okay, I mean that goes directly to the heart of your point.
And it's vague. I mean, let's be honest. It's vague.
And I don't know. Maybe this isn't the issue that perhaps I think it is, but based on how the audience has responded to my asking for questions and based how they've responded to the answer to said question, I think Senator Blackburn would do well to have a better answer on the January 6th question. I was not here, but from what you guys tell me, she drew a line in the sand and said that she would not certify the election because of election irregularities and because of the frustration due to those election irregularities. Sure. And then she voted to certify the election. I gave her an opportunity to speak to that, and she said it was performative. That's not the word she used. She said it was ceremonial.
Ceremonial.
And that did not sit well with y'all. That's all I can say.
Yeah, well, the answer is unless I have evidence that I can put on the table on those irregularities, then, you go with it. I understand the frustration, just like so many other voters, but, I mean, it's hard for a political candidate right now to say that. I mean, that's just a non-winner, and so I get that. But I do appreciate what she said about a DCS county pilot of saying, let's not try to solve everything at once. Let's try some ideas in a specific area and then get better on that. And I'd love to work with her on some of that stuff.
Yeah, I just, once again, it might be a minority of voters that are bothered by this singular subject, but I think as she moves across the state, she'll have perhaps a more detailed answer on the question. But the question was asked and the question was answered. We've got plenty of other questions for Senator Blackburn, and we will have opportunity to get those questions answered. In the meantime, it's 43 after the hour, and it is high time for those nincompoops that you know and love. Normally, it is a three-way race to the finish line to see who has the nincompoop of the day. On these Wednesdays, where we welcome Cameron Smith to the table, it is a four-way race for nincompoopery. Always going first, last day's winner, and that would be Jackson Williams. He'll go first. One of us will go second. Another will go third. Another will go fourth, and then you get to vote. 615-737-9986. 615-737-9986. Jackson, Bigamy has won you this honor. Congratulations.
I would like to thank Mr. Betsy from yesterday for today's.
Do you remember the three wives?
I don't remember their first names. I'm
Tanya,
sure he didn't either.
I think Tanya. Yeah, I think Tanya was one of them.
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
He brought a new girlfriend to the court case. Mad respect. That took some courage.
That's pretty good. That's pretty solid. What's your candidate today, sir?
Firefighters rescue woman trapped in small chimney in San Fernandino. Firefighters rescued a woman trapped in a small chimney in San Fernandino on Tuesday. Air 7 flew over the scene where several Los Angeles firefighters were working to free the woman from the chimney. It happened at a municipal building at the City of San Fernandino Recreation Center on North Park Avenue. Officials say the small building is used for storage. According to LAFD, an approximately 30-year-old woman was discovered about 3 feet deep within the chimney exhaust flume. Members of the LA Fire Department's urban search and rescue team had to use a ladder to reach her and then used a harness to lift her up and out of the chimney. Video shows crew lifting the woman out of the chimney. Over a dozen firefighters stood on the roof as they worked to free the woman. Eventually, she was lifted out and lowered to the roof, where she was strapped to a gurney and lowered to the ground using the truck ladder as a crane. The woman was alert and conscious and was loaded into an ambulance. So apparently witnesses say they could see the lady on top of the roof. She was pulling her shirt up, then pulling her pants down, just on the roof like dancing, said a witness.
What was she? Well, hold on a second. What was she doing?
A witness said, I could see a lady on top of the roof. She was pulling her shirt up, then pulling her pants down,
Okay.
just on the roof like dancing. Said a witness. I come around again and I see her hands waving out the chimney and she's just screaming, help, help, help. We heard her screaming and I thought she was kidding. But then it turned into something serious when she started saying, I'm hurt, I need help, and I can't get out. And then people started taking her seriously. A witness said there was a half-empty bottle of tequila in the woman's backpack, though it's unclear if she had consumed any alcohol before the rescue.
I think it's pretty clear.
Yeah, she was drunk and fell in a chimney.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear. I mean, I don't know how she got on that roof, but once she was on that roof with that tequila in her, yeah. Tequila make her clothes fall off.
That'll do it.
That's what I hear.
You think she stumbled and fell into the chimney, or do you think she just was drunk and trying to explore?
I think she was trying to get into the house. I mean, come on. How
As
do you
a
get into the
storage
house?
unit.
You're on the roof. I think you're trying to get into the facility, the building, I should say, not the house. My bad. Mr. Ken Weaver, you're an nincompoop.
All right. Brother Jackson, help me out because I have been busier than a one-legged man in a you-know-what kicking contest.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to use Brother Jackson's because I need to come up with my own.
Okay.
And I just found one. Just like that. This comes from May 11th. Man accused of walking naked through angel mounds. Out of Evansville, Indiana, Evansville police say they arrested a man for public indecency after witnesses say he was walking naked through the Angel Mounds Public Park. 65-year-old Craig Kaling was seen by witnesses carrying his clothes in his hands as he walked in the woods by a parking lot.
As you do.
This was around 3:15 in the afternoon. According to witnesses, Kaling was patting himself while looking at the witness.
Good save.
And motioned for the witness to join him. Evansville police says Keeling admitted to walking around naked and patting himself, saying he was, quote, partaking in a little voyeurism.
Oh, yeah.
Keeling was taken to the Vandenberg County Jail. And it doesn't say when his next court appearance is, but that's what Mr. Keeling was doing on that day, and that's my nincompoop.
That's a pretty good nincompoop.
You ought to see him.
I've been inspired by Ken Weaver that I'm officially I had an nincompoop, but I'm officially calling an audible. But I'm going to go after Cameron Smith. Cameron, your nincompoop.
Yeah, I'm on like my third or fourth level because y'all have already nincompooped the.
You missed last week, so
I
you're like
know.
2 weeks of nincompoops have stacked up on you.
And I always go with Florida Man, and y'all steal the Florida Man.
You know the first thing Cameron asked me is the segment right before the segment started. He said, y'all haven't done one about a guy marrying 3 ladies, have you? It's like, yeah.
That was the winner.
Yeah, that was a big
I
winner
know.
yesterday. So
I vaguely remember. I think this one may have been done, but it's so then it's a retread. Is the Sarasota Planet Fitness?
I won with that one as well.
Jeez, come on. Well, then I retire.
Where he was naked and he tried to burn
All right,
it down.
You can have the one that I rejected. This is officially Cameron's.
Oh, okay.
Now, I don't know who the nincompoop in this story is, but somebody's a nincompoop, and there's going to be a follow-up on this story. Tampa, Florida, according to WFLA, and quote, extremely lucky gambler hit 389 jackpots in one day at the Seminole Hard Rock Casino and Hotel. 389 jackpots in one day. He won more than $1.8 million. According to the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Tampa, they announced Tuesday that Meyer O, I guess they're withholding his last name, saw big wins throughout the day on several of their popular slot machines. He hits $170,678.18 on Locket Link, $99,350 on Panda Magic Dragon Link, $258,000 on Golden Century Dragon Link, $115,000 and $143,000 on two other machines. The casino, in a news release, said, quote, "This lucky streak is one of the most impressive one-day runs in our property's history. Stories like this show how exciting and rewarding a visit to Seminole Hard Rock Tampa can be," said Joseph Wagner, Vice President and Assistant General Manager of Seminole. "This guest's incredible day is certainly unique. It's always thrilling to see someone have such an unforgettable experience." Men, I ask you the question. Who's the nincompoop here? Because somebody's cheating.
Yes.
All right, so it's either the casino that set this up to get free publicity, right?
Not bad.
Oh, let's get a big winner. Or this dude has figured out something. There is another story that's coming down the pike. Would you not agree?
It's got to be.
There's no way he's that lucky.
Maybe
No.
he's just lucky.
That's
Had a good day.
that when you multiply the odds, they're not a chance.
It's like 187 gajillion quadrillion to 1
like being eaten by a shark that fell out of the sky.
in the casino.
Right.
Right, through the roof in the casino. The shark slivers over to him, bites him on the ass. That's the
Yes.
odds
Yes.
of you hitting 389 jackpots in one day. No question.
Well, Kim Jong-un can do it.
Well, that's true.
What if
That's
he
true.
played all day, 24 hours?
Well, you would have to.
I just like the names of I love walking through a casino and seeing some of these slot machines and different games and some of the names, the double dragon and the little devil baby machine and all that crap.
That is like 15 jackpots an hour.
Yeah.
That is kind of absurd.
That's set up.
I feel like it's a setup
That's gotta be.
to get publicity. Either that or the dude is cheating. And if the dude's cheating, I feel like the casino's got to be. I mean, they either just can't figure out how he's cheating or what. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how you would do it. Magnets, whatever. But that's not mine. That's Cameron's. So if y'all vote for Magic Panda Dragon Link, vote Cameron. Mine comes to us from the world of the WNBA.
Oh, look out. Something just came onto the floor. Got an object that just flew in as the free throw was being made. And it looked like that hit a player, too.
It did. Okay, so I don't know if y'all.
What's the object, Matt?
That object would be a personal pleasure device.
What does that mean?
A radio.
A television.
Well, it's got batteries.
Somebody.
No,
God,
I
yeah.
don't think it does,
No,
Ken.
it
I don't
doesn't,
think it
Ken.
does. I don't think this one.
Jackson, can you educate Ken real quick?
I don't think it
Ken,
does.
this one's less of an automatic, more of a manual transmission.
You got to mind the clutch doesn't slip.
Oh, buddy.
So some person, I don't know who, I don't know, male, female. The other day in the WNBA, they decided to spice things up a little bit by tossing an object normally reserved for the privacy of our own bedrooms onto the court. Now, and it was bright neon green in coloring.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I'm gesticulating my hands in this fashion, but that's looked to be about
That's
the size.
about right.
That's about the size of it all. Well, we now have. Y'all know how many? We're now no. There was so there's 3. So we now have 3 that have made their way to the court on individual nights in the WNBA. 3 separate personal pleasure devices. But there have been 4. They sighted one in the stands before it was hurled onto the court.
No,
And
that it was thrown. It just hit a kid instead of the court.
Goodness.
It hit.
That had to be an awkward ride home.
Oh, that poor kid.
Hey, Mommy, what was that?
It was a
Thingy.
I don't.
Look, a bird.
We're gonna go get Dairy Queen. Anyway, there you go. That's how you play Nickaboops of the News. It's time to go to the news or something.
Something
Get away
like
from
that.
it. I
Something.
can't look. If you don't know, just look it up. WNBA object on court.
All right.
I
I'm going to look
promise.
it up.
I promise you'll find it's
Not
bright.
on the work computer, Ken.
It's neon green and it's.
Not a catfish.
Neon green.
And if they're not selling these as WNBA merch today, they're missing an opportunity. By the way, people are betting more on which game will have another one of these thrown onto the court than they are on the actual games. That is, I'm not making that up. All right, that's how we play Nickaboops in the News. It's 55 after the hour on Super Talk.